Hey guys, did you know that there is this crystal ball that is available to you right now to find out exactly where the property market and more importantly, what is your property going to be performing heading into this year, 2024 and into the future, right? This is Pete helping you take the next step with how your property is going to benefit you. So we quickly look at what I mean by the crystal ball. So actually, you know that URA actually publish a quarterly report. Many of my clients do not actually know that they do that. And in this report, you actually find a lot of, I would say, nuggets and very good information that can help you navigate through this confusing property market in Singapore. In fact, I've just talked to a client recently and she told me that she's very confused. She don't know what to do. So never mind, to help you be a little bit more confused, I want to ask you the question. When you look at a property, right, do you look at it because of the price? That's basically what everybody does, isn't it? When somebody chooses to look through any property portal, right, the first thing that they look at is price. But then again, is price the only thing that matters? Or is price the only consideration that you should be looking at first? Look at this, right? The newspaper say that private home prices actually ease down, okay? And then resale prices actually inch up, right? One in April, one in March. So what's going to happen? You'll be like me, right? You'll be a little bit confused, isn't it? Right? I think many of you would be, because sometimes when I read the news, I'm also a bit confused. So when we look at this report, actually URA published this report, and this is the latest report, which is the first quarter of 2024. And in the report, there's some very interesting thing which I'm going to share with you, right? But it's very wordy and it's full of numbers, like you can see here, right? So what we have done in our team is we have summarized, not only summarized, we analyze and dissect the numbers to put it up for you over here. That's why we have all these things here to give us one glance to see how actually we can help our clients to navigate through this confusing property. So price, just now I asked this question, is price the only thing that matters? And if you look at it carefully, right, the minister, right, Desmond Lee actually said this, the one in charge of the homes and the HDB in Singapore. So when it comes to something like the property, right, you have to put in measures, and he said firm ones. And you have to increase supply and you have to manage demand. So this is the government stand, right? So in a very recent interview, this is the government stand. You have to use supply and demand and not price, right? So this is secret number one. You've already learned something good today. And if you really learned something good, remember to share this video, put a like, put a sub, right, with your friends, and make sure that this information, right, actually got shared to more people out there. So let's look at the supply, okay? The supply of new project launches. In the report, you will be able to find a annex that publish all the new launch supply, okay? And we actually track in our team what is the supply from year to year to year. So in the report, it will only track until to a certain year, but we actually backtrack all the way back. And it's very interesting to see that what is the new launch supply landscape going to be like, okay? In 2022, let's just push back a couple of years, right? The total number of new launch is about 4,000 plus. In 2023, it has gone up to about 7,000 plus, right? And in this year, 2024, right now, after the first quarter, it's about 1,003. So if you do a little bit of math, 1,003 multiplied by 4, you will see that it's going to be like lower than this number, right? So I'm not sure because it's still quarter one. But then again, if you look comparing to those previous years, right, we are typically launching about 10,000. And if you look even further, right, you will see 11,000 was launched in 2019 and we see 8,000 was launched in 2018. So then the question to ask yourself is the new launch supply getting lower or the new launch supply is still high? All right, question number one, you can answer that yourself. Yeah, of course, in the report, you'll be able to find something like this, which is what I like the most, right? This is Annex E3. I jump straight into the report every time when a new report is published for the last quarter. And in this, you will see, what you see is actually trend. So this report actually shows you what's the pipeline supply of private residential units, right, that will become available and it's year of completion, meaning to say that this is when you will get your key, where the condo or the EC becomes available to the public. They collect the key, it becomes part of the inventory in the market. So we take a look at in the year 2022, right? 2022 Q3, we see that the supply is going one direction, right? You can tell, okay, it's reducing. That's very typical, right? Later on in the video, you'll find why it's so typical, because there's this thing called a supply inventory gap, right? There's a supply inventory cycle which causes something like a supply inventory gap, okay, which I'm going to share with you more later in this video. So when we look at the latest report, okay, first quarter 2024, you will see that this is what our projected key collection or this pipeline of private residential that will be completed in this year 2024. Okay, it looks like we are doing about 10,000. Right, so this number, okay, bear in mind, this number will change. Okay, it will definitely change from report to report, quarter to quarter. That is why what I usually do is I put, okay, year by year, quarter by quarter, I compare it quarter over quarter. Okay, so this is what we've seen. That's now in 2022, typical that this is what we see. But 1 year later, in first quarter 2023, you see that actually it has moderated. Why? Because of this thing, right? So as government issue more land and blocks become, actually en blocks deals happen, and there's more land and more for the developer to develop into condos, private condos. Okay, this thing will change and add to the new supply that will be joining into the inventory. Okay, so it's very likely to see this. Okay, and when we move into first quarter this year, you'll see that it has become something like that. Okay, so things to note. Okay, first of all is this shape. Okay, you see that it's actually this shape. Okay, don't you think it looks like very cyclic? Right, so this is what I mean by the inventory cycle. Okay, so question is this: we are here, 2024. Okay, is the TOP supply going to be lower or going to be higher moving into 2025? Okay, I think you can answer that question as well, right? So next, okay, where do we get inventory? Where do supply come from? Supply come from either is new, either is a TOP, collect key, or either is an older resale inventory, right? So that's why we in our team, we also track what is the resale inventory, and we see that resale inventory, okay, for 2021, right, we are talking about 19,000 transactions, right? So these are transactions, by the way. Okay, so in the report, they give you this, which is the number of units transacted in the whole of Singapore. And you can see in 2022, it actually has dropped from 19,000 to 14,000. And in 2023, last year, it has dropped to 11,000. So question again, okay, is the resale inventory getting more or getting less? Okay, but right now you might say, hey, hey Pete, the resale inventory is getting less is really because right now you know that resale prices are at an all-time high. So people are not buying, right? Okay, but that is what I need you to see here. If you look at, okay, the resale transactions, right, resale prices is actually getting more high, correct? But you always compare it to the transaction volumes, right? Transaction volumes are lower, yet prices are going higher. That means the inventory levels that is reflected in the market is true, right? So another question, right? This sharing has a lot of questions for you to answer. Resale inventory is low or resale inventory is high? So this is another key already, right? So now asking question, let me just summarize for you what we actually know so far. So we are actually moving into a low supply cycle in 2025. You can see from the chart that URA, the government, share with us in the quarterly report that the supply cycle is getting on the low side. And we also know current resale inventory is also getting low. Okay, and new launch prices are now moderated due to the high interest rate environment currently, okay, as the time of this video when this is taken. So you might be asking, what can we do now? All right. What we propose to our clients is to really catch the gap. And this is where we come in, because most of the time, the government will give you a little chart like this, a little chart like this, a little chart like this, a little chart like this. It doesn't show you a complete picture. That's why what we do here is we actually amalgamate the chart so that it becomes a bigger chart showing a better trend. So to pull up the trend, right, it will look something like that. 2021, 2, 3, 4, and we are actually right smack around here, 2024. Okay, can you see now that there is a trend forming, right? Okay, it just looks like a wave. Okay, so this is what we call the inventory cycle in the property. And what we recommend is to catch the gap. So you'll be asking, where is the gap? Okay, by the way, the gap means that it's an opportunity for you to enter and there's an opportunity for you to exit. So where is that exactly? So watch on, as I'm going to share with you later on in the video, where can you catch it? So if we pull back even further, so this is an even further chart that our team has done, right? All the way back to 2015, right? So 2015, okay, you can see this actually follows a similar pattern. All right, in 2015, we have this. It goes on a high, 2016, and actually went down to a low in 2019. And then we all know what happened in 2020 where, you know, our famous COVID and the restrictions all hit, right? So you can see clearly, you can read for yourself, where can you find the gap? This is actually the start of the gap. Because why? Okay, remember those people who bought property 2014, 2015 is the start of what we call entry. Okay, so for those people, our customers that we have advised, and then they bought a property at the entry, right now, when they exit in 2019, right, they all make huge profit. Okay, you might not believe me. Let's do again. When they exit already, what can they do? They can buy again, okay, at a low inventory cycle. So that's where they enter again. So this gap, when they buy again, those people who buy in 2019, look at what they happen, right? Now we are in 2024, 2025. It's time for the cycle to end, and it's time for all my clients to exit. So you might think that, is it right or wrong? Okay, let me just show you, right? It's just one of my clients who bought Whistler Grand. Look at this, it's the 2018-2019 date of purchase, Whistler Grand. Then it was the entry of the cycle. It is the start of the gap where you should really be entering into the property market if you have the means to, and if you are intending to do so. Look at all the profit margin that they have. 590K, even 600, close to $650,000. There's even one that's also $650,000, right? And all these are sold, okay, right about now, 2023, 24, which is the exit. So I just recap again. You can see, we are at, this is where they enter, this is where they exit. Remember the start end cycle, and this is where we have the gap. So we have identified that this actually is, in fact, the window has actually opened already. And if you are in the property market looking to buy something, you probably have received lots of information, right, from your agents or from social media about very good deals. In fact, every day you see on the news that there are some property being discounted. And why? Because we are actually at the entry gap right now. So you will say, right now, if I want to buy, can I buy anything? Things are so expensive. I understand, right? But what if I tell you, right? What if I tell you that actually that you can actually buy a new launch that is actually cheaper than a resale? Don't believe, right? Right? Sounds too good to be true, right? So take a look at this. Okay, this is a resale market. It's a D15 condo, freehold. So I'm just going to compare apple to apple later. You can see that right now, okay, the recent transacted in end of 2023, a couple of months ago. Look at how high the PSF has already gone. 2009, 2008, 2008, 2008. So averagely, I would say that it's on a high 2008, right? So what happens is, this is also, okay, in District 15, also a new launch, also actually nearby, okay, of that resale condo that I just showed you. And take a look at what are the PSF right now. Okay, these are still available, by the way. Okay, starting from 2006. Okay, you might say that 2006 might be a low floor, and you are right. But let's take a look. If I don't choose low floor, I choose somewhere decent, let's say on the 5th floor. Okay, look at what is the 5th floor price. 2007. Okay, and then 2007. So which one would you choose right now if you are the one who is buying? Which one would you choose? Would you choose a new launch that is still 2007, or would you choose a resale which is 2008? That's why I want to share with you that right now there are still a lot of projects right in the market where there is still a very good undervalue entry price, which is still safe and which is still potentially something that you may consider if you are in the market to be looking for a property right now. So remember to, scan QR code. QR code comes directly to me and my team, right, to find out if you should continue your property journey or how you can continue property journey, right? And so there you have it, a very quick, easy, and available to you right now information that you can use to actually decipher the property market right now in Singapore. But if you are still really confused how to decipher those information, but more importantly, what is there available right now in the market that you think is still undervalued but couldn't find, right? Simply reach out to me and my team, right? You can just scan the QR code right now on the screen to reach out to me and my team, and we will be very happy to share more with you. So this is Pete helping you really take the next step with Singapore Property Pro. I'll see you in the next video.